I met her first at my concert in London. She was very kind, very loving, very sweet.
What did you two talk about?
I wrote a song called Dirty Diana. And it's not about Lady Diana, it's about certain kind of girls that hang around concerts or clubs. You know, they call them groupies.
The groupies, mm-hmm.
I've lived in that all my life. You see these girls, they do everything with the band and, you know, everything you can imagine. So I wrote a song called Dirty Diana. But I took it out of the show in honor of Her Royal Highness. And she took me away and she said, "Are you going to do Dirty Diana?" I said, "No, I took it out of the show because of you." She goes, "No, I want you to do it. Do it. Do the song."
So she had a sense of humor with you.
Yeah, of course. And she told me she was honored to meet me, and I said, "It's an honor to meet you."
How did you hear about her death?
I woke up and my doctor gave me the news, and I fell back down in grief, and I started to cry. And so the pain, I felt inner pain. It was pain in my stomach and in my chest. So I said, I cannot handle this. It's too much. Just the message and the fact that I knew her personally. Then on top of that one, I said, there's another one. Real soon, I feel it coming. There's another one. It's another one coming, and I pray it's not me. Please don't let it be me. I want to say that, but I've done it before.
And you thought it might be you?
Yes. I've been living in that kind of life all my life. The tabloid press, that kind of press, not the press, the tabloid, the paparazzi, that type. And twist stories around. But she came to the concert at Wembley Stadium in London. And, you know, they do when the royal family comes, you have to line up and you meet the family and everything. But at some point, she called me away from the line. And I saw Prince Charles look at me. And I said, "Oh, boy." She said, "I want to talk to you." So I said, "Yeah, what's happening?" She said, "Are you going to do Dirty Diana tonight?" I said, No, I took it out of the show, out of respect for you." She said, "That's my favorite song." I said, "Are you serious?" I said, "I took it out of respect because Dirty Diana, you're in the audience." So at that point, I couldn't put it back in the show because it was too close to showtime. So I remember Prince Charles leaving the line, walking over to us, and he said, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "Oh, nothing," like that. So that was that story. And there's a couple other ones, but I don't want to, you know, say too much. She was just a wonderful, warm, compassionate person. Very caring, very caring. The same way that she does about children and the future of our children and the future of the world.
I come home and it would be very difficult to know how to comfort myself, having been comforted lots of other people. So it would be a regular pattern to jump into the fridge. It was a symptom of what was going on in my marriage. I was crying out for help, but giving the wrong signals. And people were using my bulimia as a coat on a hanger. They decided that was the problem. Diana was unstable.
Martin Bashir is an interesting example of a man who made his name off of the back of Michael Jackson, lured him in under the pretense that he was going to help Michael Jackson's career by erasing any possibility of allegations of the past, by bringing forward Michael's ability and want and desire to help children and create this international children's holiday that Michael wanted so badly. He promised Michael that that's what this would be about, this international children's holiday, and that he'd make Michael Jackson look like another Princess Diana. That's what he promised.
Martin showed Michael a letter from Princess Diana.
Thanking him?
Thanking him for the show that he did with her, the interview that said, you know, Martin's a great guy, he'll take care of you, it was a great interview, whatever. And then Michael just figured, oh, he's okay then. If it was, you know, if Di liked him, he was fine. He didn't care. He wasn't trying to be Michael's friend.
When I made the documentary, there was a small part of that which contained a controversy concerning his relationship with other young people. But the truth is that he was never convicted of any crime. I never saw any wrongdoing myself. And whilst his lifestyle may have been a bit unorthodox, I don't believe it was criminal.
It is clear that Bashir duped him into believing that he would make a positive documentary that would put forth the truth about his life. But instead, depicted Jackson as a dangerous man who is not fit to be around children, and portrayed him in a negative light, totally opposite to what he had promised. Nothing positive made to the cut. When the documentary aired on 3 February 2003, this segment caused a storm of bad publicity for Jackson, and wild speculations about the nature of his relationship with Gavin Arvizo, when in reality, there was not even a relationship between Jackson and Gavin in the first place.
All for free.
Wait, you were his security for 10 years and you didn't charge him?
No. And I think that's why the relationship works really well with him and his family.
Thank you to all my team and Matt Fidesz, the man.
Tell me something about Michael you've never told anyone. Out of all the people, like you mentioned Bill Clinton and stuff like that, who's like the biggest person you met with Michael? Did you meet Princess Diana?
No, I was too young for that one.
Okay, yeah.
He used to talk about her. He loved Diana, and he wanted to marry her. He was in love with Diana. Yeah. Because
they used to have like secret like phone calls at night.
Yeah. He used to be on the phone for hours on end. Yeah. He used to tell me about his cheeky little phone calls to Princess Diana.
Really?
It's quite funny because King Charles, as he's now known, so we obviously, Diana went to Michael's concerts and Michael met Prince William and Harry when they were little, and he really wanted to reconnect with them. And Prince Harry was at the Cheltenham races and he came up and said hi to me and he said, look, could you make it happen? I'm like, sure. We'll make it happen at some point. We'll get Michael to meet you and your brother, as in Prince William. And Harry went off and he was walking away, a bit drunk, like he is. He's one of the lads. And yeah, I don't think nothing really came of that. But then a few years later, we had a member of parliament who contacted us because Michael really wanted to be Sir Michael Jackson. He felt he's done enough to the world. He's the biggest donator for charities of all time, 750 million, I believe. Nobody wants to print that, but that's the fact, the Guinness Book of Records. And he felt he's done enough for the biggest selling albums to be knighted as Michael Jackson. The only issue is he's not English. But
this is exactly why we call Michael Jackson the king of pop. If it wasn't for Michael Jackson, I would never have ever performed. He's made such an impact on my life and every performer's life. Michael Jackson, I love you. We all love you. I want you to give it up for the king of pop, Michael, 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 Michael Jackson. Congratulations. Diamond Award.
I love you. I love all the fans from the bottom of my heart.